Hey, what's going on YouTube? In this video series, we'll be going over how to build your portfolio site with Gatsby.js. At the end of this series, you should be able to build a site that looks pretty similar to this, or honestly completely different. I expect that you'll probably hack around a bit with it. But we'll be creating a number of different sections, and we'll have some pretty cool functionality to kind of demonstrate how WordPress and Gatsby interact with each other. And then we'll finally finish off with a cool little custom contact form that will demonstrate some useful React components, and we'll add some validation in and that kind of stuff. So anyway, let's take a look at Gatsby to get an idea of what we're going to be working with here. So Gatsby is a free and open source framework based on React that helps developers build blazing fast websites and apps. So kind of how it works. When we run the Gatsby build process, it pulls data from a source, which in our case will be WordPress's REST API, and then from there it generates web pages based on GraphQL's interactions with said REST API. We'll go into that a little bit later on how it works. There's some technologies there that you may not be familiar with, but we'll kind of work through that. So what's cool about Gatsby is that it allows us to leverage the power of React to build reusable component-based web apps, which is where the plugins come in. So one thing that is totally awesome about Gatsby is its ecosystem. There are plugins for everything. Whether you want to incorporate Google Analytics easily, optimize images for faster loading times to get that coveted solid green lighthouse score, or source data without much configuration, Gatsby has a plugin for that. Anyway, like I said, we will be utilizing WordPress as our data source throughout this series, and I'll show you a cool plugin that'll make adding new post types, pages, menus, or whatever else you fancy a total breeze. Overall, this should be a pretty basic but useful series for people who are looking to hack around with creating modern React apps while still having the comforts of traditional CMS. All right, let's get started and set up our dev environment. So for this video series, I'll be using Docker for my WordPress setup. I find it's just easier for me. I like to set up my own customized environment. As you can see here, I have a Docker file. I kind of extend the WordPress instance, or image, sorry, and add in some debugging capabilities and also Vim if I need to hack through and install more things, as well as Composer if I want to add in any other libraries quickly and whatnot. So anyway, let's get started with that, with building this image. We'll call it Dan/WordPress. I had actually already installed it recently, so pick this up. All right, and this is my Docker Compose file. I may end up pushing this up to GitHub if people are interested and kind of want to hack around with it. So let's go Docker Compose up-d. All right, so that should have set up our WordPress instance. Let's see if we got that going on here. Cool. Continue. We'll call my portfolio. Username admin, password admin. We all know that's about as secure as it gets. Don't do this in production, obviously. hello@gmail.com. Install. Cool. Let's log in. Admin. Sweet. All right, so we have our WordPress instance up and running and also persisting to a data volume here, so it will live throughout the life of this. Now, next up, we want to go through and get Gatsby installed. So we are going to install the CLI globally. And that was already installed, so obviously that was pretty quick. All right, and we're going to, well, we're just going to type this in. Gatsby new my portfolio. All right, cool. That seemed to have installed. Let's check up here.
Do a little synchronization. Oh, don't even need to. Sweet. All right. Theoretically, this should work. Let's cd into that directory, my portfolio, and we will go Gatsby develop. Compiled successfully. All right, let's give this a try here. Quick start. We got to go to localhost 8000 is the default port, and boom, just like that, hot diggity dog, we are in business and ready to start development.
So, one more thing before we close this video out. Setting up the debugger can be a bit confusing, especially when working with Docker. Comment down below if you're interested in having me create a quick video here where I set up the debugging environment. It's a bit of an aside, but I definitely think it's worth setting up before getting the ball rolling with the project. Other than that, I think I'll close this video out. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope to see you in the next video. Thanks again.